Hello, today we'll start with your lecture 8 on the course on heat and mass transfer. Okay, so today we'll discuss about this unsteady, continue with this unsteady heat generation, and we'll also discuss about lumped parameter analysis and about briefly about the Barrett's number. Okay, so in the previous lecture we have discussed about the conditions for the unsteady heat generation and about the one-dimensional heat conduction and the conditions for the one-dimensional heat conduction. Okay, so let us start today's class. So now the formula which governs the unsteady state heat conduction of a body, of a hot body which is being placed at a ambient temperature, at a lower ambient temperature. Okay, suppose there is a body at temperature T and it is kept in an ambient temperature T infinity. So the equation which will govern this unsteady heat conduction. Okay, so e to the power minus HSE by rho V into Cp is equal to T minus T ambient by Ti minus T ambient. Okay, so this is a very important formula which will govern an heat flow when the heat flow is unsteady. So the T is the final temperature to which the body is being heated or cooled. Okay, Ti is the initial temperature and T, this one is the ambient temperature of the surroundings. Okay, now if we plot the graph, okay, time and temperature. Okay, so time is in the x-axis. So in this cooling process, in this unsteady state cooling process, the graph between the temperature and time, it will be like this. This is exponential type of graph. So if you see this graph, you will see that initially cooling takes place at a very fast rate. Okay, because the slope is always greater in this places. Okay, initially at the curve, and slowly as we go, you will see that the slope decreases and the rate of cooling, it also decreases with time. Okay, so more time is taken to lower the temperature as time passes. Okay, and the slope of this curve is also negative, as you can see. So for this is the curve for the heating process, for the cooling process, sorry, and also for the heating process, the curve will be like this, only exponential curve, but it will be like inverted like this. Okay, so this will be for heating process. Okay, and this is the equation which will govern this curve, this unsteady cooling process or heating process, as you take. So initially when the temperature difference is large in these places, Okay, so the temperature difference is large, so the heat conduction, the heat transfer will also take place in a higher rate. And as time passes, when the temperature difference becomes less, so the heat transfer will also take place at a lower rate as we go through this curve. Now see this equation, this e to the power minus HA tau by rho v Cp. E to the power minus HA tau by rho v Cp is equal to T minus T ambient by T initial minus T ambient. Now see this term, this HA by rho Vcp. Okay, so the larger this parameter, this HA by rho Vcp, the faster this term, this body will reach zero, or more rapid will be the heat conduction. Okay, so this term, this HA by rho Vcp, the unit of this term is second inverse. Okay, so the opposite of this, that is rho Vcp by HA, will have an unit of second. Okay, so this term, this rho Vcp by HA, it is known as actually the time constant. This is known as the time constant. Okay, so in this time constant, this rho, it is the density. V is the volume of the material. Cp is the specific heat. Okay, and H is the convective heat transfer coefficient. A is the area. Okay, so this is the expression for the time constant. It is denoted by T. And now what this time constant it denotes, that in what amount of time this body will reach the ambient temperature. Okay, at what amount of time this body will reach the ambient temperature. Now the larger this time constant, which corresponds to a large time constant, which corresponds to the slow system response, and the small constant, which refers to the fast response. Okay, so the low value of time constant can be achieved by decreasing the diameter, okay, of a cylinder or the wire, or by using materials of low density and small specific heat, and increasing the heat transfer coefficient. Okay, so for a body, we should always try to keep the time constant as less as possible. Okay, so the less is the time constant, the more quickly it will reach the ambient temperature. Okay, the example of this type is the thermometer which we use in our home. Okay, it reaches the temperature, ambient temperature, at a very less amount of time. Okay, so the time constant of this thermometer is very less. Okay, so we can actually, for a cylindrical device, the time constant can be lessened by reducing the diameter. Secondly, by using light materials of low density, so this rho will be very less, so the time constant will be less. So using materials of low density, this rho should be less. And by increasing this heat transfer coefficient, this H, this value of H, increasing this value of heat transfer coefficient. Okay, so this is how we will reduce this time constant for a material, of a cylindrical material. Okay, now we'll see this, what is this lumped analysis. For this, we have already seen in the last class that in a body, we consider a spherical body like this. Okay, so there are at different points, the temperature will be different at different points, and also after passage of time, also the temperature will be different at different places with passage of time. We have discussed this in the previous class. So you already know that this temperature is a function of the space and time, space and time, and there will be this gradients present all over this system, all over this body, temperature gradients. Okay, now in this lumped parameter analysis, what we do is that we assume temperature to be only as a function of time and not space. Okay, so we assume this to be 0. Okay, so the temperature is only a function of time, and we ignore this existing, this internal this temperature gradients which is present all along this body. We ignore this temperature gradients. Okay, so such type of analysis is known as the lumped heat analysis. So in a lumped parameter analysis, actually the temperature, will write that the temperature in lumped analysis, the temperature of a solid, it varies with time. But it remains uniform throughout the solid at any time. So this is the basic principle of this lumped parameter analysis. Now we will see that criteria for lumped parameter analysis. So we have to check that where we can apply this lumped parameter analysis. Okay, we cannot apply this lumped criteria in any situation. Okay, for any body, and this can be checked by another entity. Okay, which is known as this Biot number. Okay. So the lumped, whether we can apply this lumped parameter analysis, so we can check by using the entity of this Biot's number. So when this Biot's number is less than 10%, 10% or 0.1, then we can apply this lumped system analysis. Okay, otherwise lumped system analysis will not be applicable. Now what is this Biot's number? Okay, so this Biot's number, it is actually the ratio of conduction resistance by convection resistance. It is the ratio of this conduction resistance by this convection resistance. Okay, so this conduction resistance will be, this value is L by Ka. L by Ka. Okay, and this convection resistance will be 1 by Ha. Okay, so this comes out to be this A and this A is cancelled out. So this comes out to be HL by K. Okay, so this H is the convective heat transfer coefficient, you already know. This L is the characteristic dimension. L is equal to characteristic dimension, and its value is equal to V by A. So this volume by surface area. Okay, this is the characteristic dimension, and K is the thermal conductivity of the solid. Okay, thermal conductivity of the solid. So by this formula we will see the value of Biot's number. Okay, and if it comes out to be less than 10%, then only we can apply this lumped parameter approach, lumped analysis. Okay, and this is the value of this Biot's number. Also there is another term which is known as the Nusselt number. That's the value of that Nusselt number is also HL by K, but it will be for liquid. Okay, so for Nusselt's number it will be HL by K liquid. Okay, so some important points about this Biot's number is that a very small value of this Biot number, it represents a small resistance to heat conduction. So small value of Biot's number, it represents a small resistance to heat conduction. And thus there is small temperature gradients within the body. Thus there is small temperature gradients within the body. Okay, so this is number one point. And secondly, since the Biot number, it is the ratio of the convective heat transfer coefficient, it is the ratio of the convection at the surface to the conduction within the body. So this number should be as small as possible. Number should be as small as possible for lumped analysis. to be applicable. Okay, therefore the small bodies, therefore where we can apply this, in the case of small bodies with high thermal conductivity, small bodies with high thermal conductivity, high thermal conduction area, high thermal conduction area. Okay, so these type of bodies are ideal cases for this application of this lumped system analysis. Okay, and thirdly, this lumped analysis, this lumped system analysis, it assumes a uniform temperature. It assumes uniform temperature distribution throughout the body. Okay, uniform temperature distribution throughout the body, which is possible only when the thermal resistance of the body to the thermal conduction or the conduction resistance is 0, which is only possible when thermal resistance by thermal conduction is 0. So this analysis is perfect. Only when this Biot's number is Bi is equal to 0. So this is perfect case when Bi is equal to 0. Okay. So I hope you have understood this basic things about this lumped analysis and this Biot number. Okay. So I will finish my lecture over here for today. Okay, so we will continue with this series on this mass transfer. So I finish my class for today. So thank you.